All right, cool. So, how do I get out of a rut? Well, I start with gratitude because through gratitude, you understand where you're at. And until you understand where you're at, you don't know where you can go or where you have to go, right? You got to have a place to start from. You got to have something to reference whenever you're trying to move forward. A part of that journey is accepting a lot of things that are hard to accept, but also through gratitude, you get to focus your attention on the things that bring you joy in your life at that time. I think there's something that's really special about that, and that's really difficult about it too. I struggle with gratitude a lot. Sometimes I find myself sitting down in front of a my notebook or my journal, and I don't know what to write sometimes. But I did a gratitude practice today, and it went really well. I have a lot of things to be grateful for. And so I wonder why I find myself getting caught in some of these ruts sometimes, because everything can be going on like the majority of things in my life can be going really well, and yet still I have to commit to gratitude to bring myself back to center. It's crazy how so many things can be in front of you that are good, and you can't even consciously recognize any of them until you sit down and that's the only thing you focus on. I don't know what leads us to get into these positions in life. A series of unfortunate events, probably. Just a lot of hard things happening one after the other. But once you understand that gratitude is your starting point, then you can focus on, well, what am I not so good at? Jordan Peterson says something like, you can you have to start as low as you are useless. And that can be pretty low. So even though I have a lot of things going for me, I'm also pretty useless at a lot of things in life. I'm a lot better at some things than I was a few years ago, which is another thing to be grateful for, but at a certain extent, gotta move forward. What got me here won't get me there. There's that basic principle. And I think that it's the dire need for change to get going in my life. It's hard to realize just how much you need to change to get out of the flow of education, because it's nothing like what the real world has to offer. I'll still be learning, I'll still have continuing education, and I'll commit time every day to reading and writing and trying to become more educated in my career. But ultimately, my job is going to be people, and that's a whole different battle that I've had some practice with, but not to the extent that I'm dealing with people for the majority of my day, and to the extent that that's what I'm getting paid to do. So it'll be interesting. I also have a hard time being authentic. I think that's a part of my problem right now. I wish I could sit in front of this camera and just exactly what's going on in my head and be down to earth. And because I find myself being so caught up in the clouds so often, I find myself not comparing myself to the person I was yesterday, but comparing to who somebody else is today. I look at myself in the mirror and don't see the gains that I want because I'm in the gym all the time or because I'm eating all the time. I sit down and I play the trumpet and I get frustrated with myself because I still can't play a blues progression from memory. I shake my head as I say that. And I struggle to sit down and focus at a desk. I like to tell people that I study all the time and that I keep myself occupied, but I waste a lot of the day right now. And it's hard to focus on one thing. I could get so many things done so much faster if I could just sit down and focus. And that's another thing. I sit in my chair and my freaking back hurts because I'm sitting in a chair all day long. I wish I could just have a standing desk, have my arms down here, typing at a keyboard, looking at a monitor. Got to wear my blue light glasses so my eyes don't get tired, stuff like that. It's just hard to study for prolonged periods of time. And even when I schedule in study breaks, then that breaks up my flow and I'm just not disciplined. I'm not disciplined to take breaks during my study sessions. And so I struggle to sit down and study for a long period of time. I just don't know how to take breaks. Just to sit back and look at the ceiling, do nothing. I could write in my breaks. I could play some trumpet. I've done yoga on my breaks before. Sorry. Sorry again. I don't know. I'm also broke. I have no money in my bank account right now, which is typical for a graduating college student. But I just want to start making money, real money, with a career job. That's what I'm shooting for right now, and it's hard since I haven't seen anything after so much effort over the last however many years of my life. It's right there, though. Seriously, it's the final stretch to entering, to starting. Finally get to start, which is something I really do need to realize, is that as much as this is an end, it's a start too. It's tough. It's really tough. That's it.